Hello there, I'm Richard Moorcroft. Grab your pen and paper as we navigate through this episode of Letters and Numbers. And to help us, as always, the Letters and Numbers team. And firstly, the numerically hard-working Lily Cerner.
Hi, Richard.
Hello, Lily. Now, are you actually someone who does work very hard? Are you sort of disciplined and focused?
Yeah, I think I'm a very focused and disciplined and... What was the question again?
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I know your brain's on the ball. Also, the man who lays down the letter of the law, and indeed the law of the letters, David Astall.
Go, Richard.
Now, are you really disciplined? Because I guess crosswords, you have to really focus your mind, don't you?
When you said lays down the law, I naturally heard lays, as in L-A-Z-E. I can be, at times, a little bit idle, but when it comes to crosswords, solving or compiling, there is this sort of cone of silence that descends over me. I love them for that.
We love a cone of silence. Welcome, David. Now, I'd like to introduce the two people who are extremely important to tonight's proceedings, our contestants. First up, our carryover champion, Phil Moore, an IT manager and business technology student. Welcome back, Phil. Great to see you as the carryover champion. Now, not only have you got this IT side, which is, I guess, fairly sedentary, but you're also a pretty fit bloke, aren't you?
I ride about 45, 50 Ks per day when I'm cycling, yeah.
Which is probably about 45 Ks more than most of us. So well done, Phil, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And ready to challenge Phil is Mita Navadad. Mita is a science and maths graduate who went to Germany to complete an internship for the European Aeronautic Defence and Space Company. Sounds absolutely fascinating. Welcome, Mita.
Thank you, Richard.
So what was that time in Europe like?
I was working for the Structures and Engineering department. I think the best thing about it was that every day I got to see fighter planes fly past my window as they do their test flights.
Well, that must have been a little bit noisy as they raced past.
It was very noisy. No, not much work done then.
But very exciting working at the cutting edge of science.
That's right, yes.
Well, we hope we have lots of excitement for you tonight.
Thank you,
welcome.
Richard.
So please welcome both of our contestants tonight, Phil Moore and Mita Navadad. Time to launch into our first game of the night, the letters game, where the players are going to choose 9 letters and then try to make the longest word that they can. Our carryover champion always gets to select first. Phil, that's you, so please choose.
I'll start with a consonant, please.
Thank you. Starting with an R.
And a second one, please.
C.
And a vowel, please.
O.
Another consonant, please.
H.
Another vowel.
A.
Another consonant, please.
N.
And another, please.
D.
Another vowel, please.
E.
And I'll finish with a consonant, please.
And last letter, P.
Thank you, Lily. Our first 30 seconds for the night. Well, Phil, it was a nail-biting finale to last night's show. How's the beginning to tonight's show for you?
Not too bad, a 7.
A 7 is definitely not too bad. What about you, Mita?
I think I've got a 7 as well, Richard.
OK, well, let's start with yours first, Mita.
I have parched, Richard.
And Phil, your 7?
Same word.
Parched as well.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, we've got two great minds thinking alike right from the start of the show, David.
Could someone please give these contestants some water? Clearly, they've just got nothing but a drink on their mind. Well done. A very good 7. Now, compound word alert. I found a 9.
You've got a 9.
I've got a 9.
Oh, excellent news.
There was phone card for a possible 9.
Excellent. Well done, David.
Thank you.
Great 9, but also terrific 7s. Great starts for both Phil and Mita. Let's keep the ball rolling. Mita, would you like to choose this time, please?
Thank you, Richard. Hi, Lily.
Hi, Mita.
Could I start off with a consonant, please?
You can. Thank you. Starting with G.
And another consonant.
T.
A vowel this time.
I.
Another consonant.
R.
And a vowel, please.
A.
Another vowel.
E.
A consonant again, please.
Another T.
Another consonant.
H.
And end off with a vowel, thank you.
And lucky last, I.
And here's the clock. So, Mita, your first selection on the show, how many did you get?
I have 6.
And Phil?
Also 6.
Let's start with yours first, Mita.
I've got hearth.
Could you spell that?
H-E-A-R-T-H.
Thank you. And Phil?
Threat.
Threat. Well, said in a slightly threatening voice.
Well, I won't challenge threat. That's a fine 6. However, Mita, I'm sorry, there's only one H in the mix. So hearth, we cannot accept.
That's right.
There is an 8 in here, another compound, and that is airtight.
Oh, very nice one as well. But grade 6 for Phil. Time to move on to a few numbers. The numbers game is next. And Phil, would you choose some numbers for us, please?
Lily, could I have 2 large and 4 small, please?
2 large and 4 small. Thanks, Phil. And our numbers are 1, 8, 10, another 1, and the 2 large, 25 and 50, the target number 269.
Thanks, Lily, and 30 seconds to try to get there. So, Phil, how close did you get on our first numbers of the night?
269.
269, spot on target. Very nice indeed. What about you, Mita?
I've got 270.
OK, just one off, unfortunately. So, Phil, take us through your method, please.
25 times 10 equals 250.
25 by 10 is 250.
Add the 20... no, don't add the 25, I've blown it.
Oh, dear, you've used 25 twice.
Random number again, yep.
OK. Now, Mita, you were just 1 off the target, so take us through your method, please.
Okay, 25 times 8 is 200.
25 by 8 is 200.
Add the 50.
Add the 50 is 250.
Yep. And then add the 1 and 1 to get 2.
2.
And multiply that by 10
By 10,
to get 20.
20,
Add that to 250 and you get 270.
270.
Good effort from Mita. Did you get right to the target, Lily?
I did indeed.
Take us on your pathway, please.
Okay, 25 plus 1 is 26. By 10 is 260. And you add the 8 and the 1 is 269.
Very neat. Well done, Lily. But well done also to Mita. 7 points, making the scores at the moment. Phil on 13, Mita just 1 point ahead on 14. As we head into our first break for tonight and your first word mix, Denny Scent. And the clue this time, leans towards. Back after the break. Welcome back. Yes, leaning towards is a bit of a tendency. Now, David, it was fascinating last night hearing you talking about Julius Caesar and all of those words that have been created, in a sense, in memory of his name or derived from his name. But other people in history where words have been created from their name, there are still 1 or 2 hanging around.
There are many, but these 2 gentlemen we'll touch on tonight are remembered for the wrong reason. In other words, we've looked at Julius Caesar and his fame, and now we're going to look at a Norwegian and a Scotsman for their infamy. Now, the first is a character called Vidkun Quisling, who was a fascist politician during the 1940s in Norway. And during the Nazi occupation of Norway, he was put forward as being the leader of a puppet government and seen as being a kind of a hand tool of the Nazi regime. And so consequently, the word quisling is now seen as someone who betrays your nation, a traitor, a seditionist.
And did that word actually begin to be used in that country and then spread from there?
I believe so. In fact, it was quite a cause célèbre because quisling was executed in 1945 once the war was over. So the headlines and the news spread all around Western Europe. So it spread very quickly, and quisling is now synonymous with a fifth columnist, which is something else to talk about. But the other one is back in the 1200s. We're going to wind the clock back. A fellow called John Duns Scotus, and he was a Scotsman, and he was a very dry and pedantic theologian, and he actually wrote a lot of textbooks at the times, and those who followed those textbooks were called Scotists. But along came a wave of humanism in the 1200s, and they scorned those who followed the Scottish rules and created the word dunce. And that is why now we have the word dunce for a dolt or a dullard, essentially ridiculing this man called John Duns Scotus.
Well, great names from history that have become words. Yeah. Thank you, David. Let's have a look at our scores. They are very tight. Only 1 point separating Phil on 13 and Mita on 14 as we head into our next letters game for tonight. And this time, Mita, it's you to choose.
Thank you, Richard. Lily, would I be able to start off with a consonant again, please?
Thanks, Mita. S.
And a vowel, please.
E.
A consonant.
R.
Another consonant.
Another R.
Another vowel, please.
I.
And a consonant.
F.
Another vowel, please.
A.
And a consonant, please.
N.
Another consonant, thank you.
And last letter, S.
I'll start the clock. Well, that clock comes racing around, Mita, but how did you go that time?
I have 6, Richard.
And Phil?
8.
That sounds very promising. Let's have the 6 first, though, please, Mita.
Friars. F-R-I-A-R-S.
Thank you. And Phil?
Fairness. Fairness.
That sounds like a terrific 8, David.
We love impartiality on this show, and even more if it's worth 8 points. A wonderful great 8. And also in there is refrains, another 8. But well played.
Terrific score for Phil in that round. 8 points. Let's move straight on and see if we can get some more great words from Phil. It's your choice this time.
Lily, could I start with a consonant again, please?
You can, thanks, Phil. N.
And a second one, please.
M.
And a vowel, please.
A.
And a consonant.
T.
And another consonant, thanks.
D.
And a vowel, please.
E.
Another vowel, please.
A.
A consonant.
K.
And another consonant, please.
And last letter, M.
Thank you.
And your time starts now. Well, Phil, once you've scored an 8, you've got a big reputation to live up to. How did you go that time?
Afraid not this time, a 7.
7. And what about you, Mita?
Even worse, 5.
Well, let's start with that 5.
Tamed.
And Phil, your 7?
Mandate. M-A-N-D-A-T-E.
Not bad, David?
Not bad. It's a great 7. What are you talking about? Mandate, it comes from the Latin mandare, which is a command, and essentially is an order handed down from a court or possibly from an electorate to a government to rule. It's a great 7, and beware the compounds, because I thought man-made was a possible 7, but man-made, unlike airtight and phone card, comes with a hyphen only, so would not be allowed. Mandate, perfect 7.
A very good 7 indeed for Phil. That means our scores at the moment. Mita is on 14. Phil pulling ahead a little on 28. Time to get back to some numbers now. We've had some great letters scoring, and this time, Mita, would you like to choose some numbers for us?
Would I be able to have 3 large and 3 small, please, Lily?
Certainly, 3 large and 3 small. Thank you, Mita. And starting with the smalls, 7, 9, 3. And the 3 large, 25, 50 and 75. The target to reach, 189.
Thank you, Lily. Let's head there now. Well, Mita, how did you go with that numbers mix?
Not too well, Richard. I got 184.
184, 5 off the target. What about you, Phil?
189.
Spot on. You're doing very nicely there, Phil. Take us through your method, please.
7 times 9 is 63.
7 by 9 is 63.
Times 3 is 189.
Times 3 is 189.
Oh, well done. A very elegant, straightforward, simple solution, you see. Was that the best approach, Lily?
That's the method I used.
Absolutely straightforward. And 10 points to Phil. So our scores at the moment, Mita is on 14. Phil leading strongly at the moment on 38 as we go into our next break. And your next word mix, this time it's cake glob. And your clue, often found under the sink. See you in a while. Welcome back. Yes, there's sometimes a bit of a blockage underneath the sink. Let's have a look at our scores. Mita is on 14. Phil, our carryover champion, is holding strongly on 38 as we move into our final letters game for tonight, and it's Phil's choice.
Lily, I'll start with a consonant, please, if I may.
Thank you, Phil. T.
And a second consonant, please.
Z.
Yuck. A vowel, please.
U.
Another vowel, please.
E.
A consonant, please.
L.
And another consonant.
D.
One more consonant, please.
N.
A vowel, please.
E.
And finish with a consonant, please.
And
Okay.
lucky last, P.
Thank you, Lily. Time starts now. Well, Phil, you weren't very happy with the early elements of that draw with the Z, and you didn't even seem to like the U much, but how did you go with it all?
Not big fans of those letters, but I got a 6 out of that, Richard.
And Mita?
I've got a 6 as well, Richard.
What was your 6 first, Mita?
Punted.
Could you spell that for us?
P-U-N-T-E-D.
Thank you. And Phil?
Pelted, P-E-L-T-E-D.
Obviously, pelted, punted, great for 6. Good advice at home. If you do have that Z in there, get the Z out and see what you can do with the other 8. And I could only find 6s myself with depute. That is to entrust a deputy or an assistant with power is another possible 6.
Thank you, David. And 6 points each for Mita and Phil. Well, time now to move into our final numbers game of the night. And Mita, would you choose for us this time?
Thank you, Richard. Lily, would I be able to get 2 large and 4 small, please?
2 large and 4 small. Thanks, Mita. Our numbers are 1, 8, 4, 3, and the 2 large, 75 and 25. The target number, 144.
Thanks, Lily. Here's the clock. So, Mita, our last numbers of the day. How did you go?
Not too good, Richard. Way off.
Way off. Phil, what about you?
144.
So, Phil, you're on target. Please give us your method.
Lily, I started with 75 times 3
Times.
minus 1 in brackets.
3
That's
minus
2.
1,
So it gives me 150.
150.
So then I add the 8,
Add the 8.
subtract the 3.
Oh, I think you've used the 3.
Yes, no, I haven't got it.
Have you used 3 twice?
I've used 3 twice.
OK. So, Lily, it's over to you. How did you go with 144?
My immediate thought was 12 by 12, which you can do, but I'll show you a solution which is nice. Now, 25 plus 8 plus 3 gives you 36, and 36 by 4 is 144.
Oh, takes you straight there.
Yep.
Thank you very much indeed, Lily. On this occasion, though, no scores for either Mita or Phil, so our scores stand at 20 for Mita and 44 for Phil. Well, it's finale time once again. It's our final game where contestants try to beat the clock and unearth the 9-letter word. Let's reveal tonight's conundrum. Your time starts now. Oh, it was a tricky one tonight. Both Phil and Mita, unfortunately, no sound of the buzzers. So let's reveal the conundrum solution. It is porcelain. So that means with the scores unchanged after our final round, the winner tonight is our carryover champion, Phil. But well played, Mita. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Did you enjoy the night
Thank you,
regardless?
Richard. Yes, I've had fun.
We'd love you to take a Macquarie Dictionary home with you as well.
Thank you. I'll have fun with that as well.
And Phil, you'll be back again tomorrow evening. Look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you, Richard. Yep, look forward to it.
And David, you mentioned just in passing a little earlier in the show, Fifth Column. I wonder what's the backstory to that?
The backstory actually is another fascist engagement in Europe. It was in 1936 when a Spanish general called Emilio Mola was attacking Madrid, the siege of Madrid, and his threat on radio was that we have 4 columns of an army marching towards you and a 5th column sitting inside the city walls, those who sympathise and are ready to rise and betray the city. So a 5th columnist actually is a traitor or an insider ready to betray.
Fascinating background to the story. Thank you very much indeed, David.
Pleasure.
And Lily, we were talking at the beginning of the show about, concentration and staying focused. It's nearly the end of the week. Are you concentrating on tomorrow?
I'm going to try my very best.
Really focused. All right, we'll see you then, Lily. And we'll see you as well. I hope you scored well this evening. Thank you for watching Letters and Numbers tonight. We will, in fact, see you again tomorrow evening. Of course, don't forget the website. That's sbs.com.au/letters and numbers. From the whole team, good night.